everyone, it's me, the Otaku Fango, here to review Free, Take Your Marks, the movie, the sequel movie to, I guess you could say, kind of Season 3, because of the way the movie plays out and everything. So this is the non-spoiler review for this movie, so I'm going to try my dang hardest to not spoil the 4 stories that this movie has to offer. I will talk about them not completely in depth, which I will go into the spoiler review for that, but I'll talk about them, kind of what they're about just a bit, but not everything that happens in them. That's for the spoiler review. So the 4 stories are as follows. And before we get into those 4 stories, I got this free poster at the movie. They had a Q&A kind of thing at the end of the movie. They had 15 posters left, and there was 15 questions. And let me just tell you how I won it, because it was kind of interesting, actually. So how I won that poster was basically the first question. I got the first question, and it had to do with a movie-only character. I won't say whose friend it was, but it was a friend of a movie, the character that I said the name of was a movie-only character, and it was, towards the end of the movie. I won't say who the friend is of the only thing, whatever, but, because I don't want to get into spoilers, but I'll just say this, is that I was like, oh, that scene just happened, wasn't their name Hiyori? And then I was like, Hiyori! And the guy was like, you're right, come get your poster. I was like, yeah! Also, it was really funny, the guy that was there to, give out the posters and stuff, he was like, I'm only on episode 6 of Free Season 1, so it's I don't know these questions. They were chosen by staff at, this Funimation studio, but last I saw, Ray was drowning, and I'm just we all just kind of laughed and everything, but it was great. So, yeah. I also have no idea where I'm gonna put this. I could put it above my TV, but I think this, I could put it by my bed too. No idea where this huge thing is going, because, look at this thing, compared to me, you know? It's you're huge, and I love it. So the 4 stories that were in this movie, it's kind of like they put 4 episodes into a movie, sorta, but they all kind of connect with each other. But first I just want to say this, is that when the movie began, it was the characters, Makoto, Rei, Nagisa, Makoto, Haru, they all sat they're on a TV show kind of thing, and they were talking to us directly, the audience. They're like, oh, enjoying the movie and stuff, and we have this picture we can show you, and you can take a picture with your phone, but this is the only time you can take a picture of the movie, so let me show you what that looks like. And that's the one we got to see, was the Halloween-themed one, so that was really cool. And I actually took a picture of it, obviously, as you've just seen. But, I was just oh, I gotta take a picture of this! But the 4 stories that were in there was, Fateful Choice, Cooling Down at the Secret Hot Spring, United Butterfly, and the Eternal Blue of Journeys to Come, or something. That's what my anime list, or not my anime list, but Anime News Network has them listed as, because I'm I don't remember the titles of the 4 stories by heart, so it's just yep, I'm gonna go off this. So, yeah. But Fateful Choice, the first one, so that one was so cute. So it was about Makoto and Haru trying to find Haru a apartment to live in for when he moves to Tokyo for college, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but I just, it's so cute. There was this one scene that, see, that's the problem with talking about this movie, is that I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but I just want to say there's this really sweet scene with a character, and it reminds them of their past. I'm gonna say that much, and I think that was my favorite part of that one. Also, it was really funny too. There's some funny scenes in there with I'm just gonna say Kisumi's in it, okay? It's really funny. The whole theater was dying of laughter when this whole scene happened, but you'll just have to watch the movie for yourself to see that scene. But that first story, it's really nice, and when they're looking at the apartment that Haru does choose, there's this little connection between a character in the prequel movie. They do have the characters from the prequel movie in this movie, and we get to see what they're doing in life, and so that's what was really interesting about this movie as well, is having that connection to that prequel movie. But yeah, so the second story goes as... So the second story, Cooling Down at the Secret Hot Springs. So that one was, quite the journey. It had to do with Rin and Sosuke, and actually, fun facts, so this movie came out on March 14th. White Day. And so they actually mention White Day in the movie, as the teammates on Samazuka, they're like, oh, we should go give out White Day chocolate to girls at this all-girls school or whatever. And they're like, we didn't even get any chocolates for Valentine's Day, you idiot. It was hilarious, but anyway. So for this story, they end up at the hot springs because, well, basically Nitori and Momo want to give Rin Sosuke a graduation present. And how that goes about, I'm not going to say, but it's really funny. And when they do go to the hot springs, oh, it's just, there's some interesting moments at that hot springs that I don't want to talk about until the spoiler review. But that story, it's really good. And gosh, it was great. But the third story was, that's when the comedy really kicks in. The third story, United Butterflies. So this one is about everyone at Iwatobi, Go, Nagisa, and Rei. And they're trying to do a new, recruitment thing, for new members for the club, the swim club. And how they go about it is really funny, because do you guys remember I believe it was ending, I think it was it ending 1 of season 1? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Ending 1 of season 1 where they're dressed in that Arabian clothes. Well, that's exactly what happens in this one, except Rin doesn't join in. That was kind of upsetting. But anyway, so yeah, they kind of put up this little video thing. They do this little video thing, and there's some great moments in that one. They're so cute. They're hilarious, and I can't dive too much into them because spoilers, but that one, that's when just the comedy really just kicks into high gear with this movie. Like, that one, the third story, great comedic moments. Then the fourth one, oh boy, that one has some great ones. But with this third one, I think that one just was really cute and nice because, it has comedic moments, but it also had its really, really sweet moments. And it's like, oh, they're graduating. This hurts me. Why? But anyway, let's talk about the final and fourth story. The fourth story, the Eternal Blue Journeys to Come, or whatever it's called. So this one, oh man, this one had the biggest misunderstanding I've ever seen in this series. I am not kidding you. Oh my goodness. So I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just saying there's a huge misunderstanding between everybody. It is hilarious. Like, the whole theater, we were all dying. We were just all dying of laughter. It was so funny. But the fourth one is about, basically, they want to give a going away party to Rin, who has decided to go back to Australia for, to train and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And the way it happens, it's that huge misunderstanding. It's so funny. And if you want to know what it is, if you don't care about spoilers, I will definitely talk about that one in the spoilers review, because also in that story, there's one point where I cried. Okay, I'm going to say this. Now, if you want to know why I cried, you'll have to watch the spoiler review, but it's the scene that's not, like, sad or anything, but it's just so funny that I laughed so hard that I cried. It was great. Everyone in the theater, that was also another part that everyone in the theater was just, like, cracking up. We all died. So anyway, though, but overall, this movie, it had great animation. It had the great 4 stories. It had character building. It had, and let me say this. This movie is definitely sort of tying into season 3. It's like, it's that bridge, that we have to see to get to season 3, because towards the end of the movie, there's this one scene that confirms my theory pretty much for what I think season 3 is about, and I don't really want to spoil that because, right? So if you want to know my theory about that, you'll have to watch the spoiler review, which I don't think many people are going to watch because they haven't seen this movie because it was a one-day only thing, so, but overall, this movie, I definitely have to give it, I almost gave it a 10, I mean, I'm kind of on the border, like, I want to give it a 10, but for some reason, I say don't give it a 10, I don't know why, but honestly, I guess it gets the 10 because it has no, like, there's no really flaws I could think of, because it's so funny. Like, this is the pinnacle of comedy for this series. Like, there was, I guess, a few funny moments in season 1 and 2, but this comedy in this movie is so good. Like, they went above and beyond than anything I've ever seen in this series. Like, it's so funny. Like, I wish the tags were comedy for this movie because it is that funny, especially the last 2 stories. They just had these great moments. Oh my goodness. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I feel bad for people who didn't get to go see it in theaters because that is a great experience. Experience the movie with everybody in the theater. Greatness. Like, it was amazing. I'm glad that I saw it in theaters because of that, being with other fans and watching this together is that what really made it great. Hopefully Funimation gets this out on DVD before season 3 rolls around, because I feel like this is definitely a movie you need to see before season 3. Hoping and praying that's what they do, because now we know they have the, rights to it and everything, so they can easily pop that on DVD. Hopefully quicker than we hope. I hope and pray, because so people can see it, because it's just that good of a movie. And it made me hype for season 3 even more when I finished it. I'm just like, I want season 3 now! Especially now that I think that pretty much confirms my theory about what season 3 is about, because I'm like, oh boy, I'm excited! But, overall, it was a great movie, and I honestly want to see it again, to be honest. Like, I want to go back to the theater and watch it again, or I just want to see it anywhere. I want to watch it again. It was so good. So anyway, if you guys want to see the spoiler review, which, I mean, if you don't care about spoilers, you can, because I'm going to dive deeper into the stories and actually the great, good moments of them, because I don't want people to get too spoiled on those stories, because they're really, really good. So I only talked about the basics of them. So I mean, I can't say what you guys think about the movie, because you probably maybe haven't seen it, unfortunately. So when you do see the movie, maybe come back and comment and be like, hey, that was great, or that part, I loved it, or something like that. Or if you don't care, watch my spoiler review. So yeah, I will see you guys in whatever I review next, whatever Let's Play I do next, okay? Bye!